Hey there, welcome to the Bronx Buzz. And it's a very interesting show this evening. We've got two cultural segments that we're going to have for you. And let's start with an environmental artist and social justice activist, my buddy Daniel Lanzilotta. Nice to see you, Dan.
Hi, Gary. How are you?
I'm doing well. Happy to see you. Congratulations on your selection for the 2024 Creative Climate Awards. I know
Thank
it's
you so
something that you
much.
take seriously. I wanted to ask you this: we've done a number of interviews in the past. You are as we said, an environmental artist. Um, did you were you an artist before you got into your social justice activism, or did that start you to say, hey, I can communicate about my concerns with social justice if I present things in an artistic way?
Well, I would say I was an artist all along, growing up in the Bronx, uh, and being in my space where I grew up at the end of the number two line in Wakefield, um, Woodlawn area. So I went to school to college to become a set and lighting designer, which is in the arts. And so I've always been an artist, so to speak. And when I lived in France, I started making plastic things on the beach with my son. And then I started to notice that there was a real direct connection between what I was finding on the beach and the environment. And then one thing led to the other. And of course, as you know, the Bronx has the highest rate of asthma in the country. And so
We
all
have
these things are
so many
interconnected.
environmental concerns. I mean, we don't have enough fingers on our hands to list them all. And so that then you put it together. You said, maybe I
Right. So
can
I put it all
communicate.
together. I'm a Bronx 200 artist. I'm a resident artist of Leogan, Haiti. And so my love and lust for my hometown, I'm dedicating the show that's going to be up in Dumbo to everyone from the Bronx. And my deep, deep love for my borough. So I'm
Do
very
do you
proud to say I'm from the Bronx.
do you create every day?
Yes, I do. I was creating moments before we went on the
You
air.
don't have something you can hold up and show us what you were working on.
I have the mask that's going into
All right,
Dumbo
good. I like this. There you
with
go.
me.
Wait,
Where
get
are
up near
you?
the camera. Oh, so this is the one. Now, is this the same one that we have a little video of,
Yes,
right? All
yes.
right, Anderson, pop up that video if you can. Here we go. Woo! Look at that. Now, if I'm going to guess correctly, these are all made from pieces that you have. Here it is. That you have found in other.
Every single piece is part of some other plastic debris. The big black structure of the mask was found on Canal Street, uh, on the very eastern side of Canal Street during the height of COVID. And I hadn't made a mask in a long, long time, and that thing kept haunting me. Like I want to be a mask.
Well, it haunts me now.
And
I have to
so
tell
the
you.
orange parts on the side I made 15 years ago,
Wow.
believe it or not, and
Well,
I've had
let me
them
tell you this:
forever,
if you
and so
didn't
they
do
just came together.
if you didn't do something with it, that stuff was going to stay wherever it is forever and ever.
Ever,
So
yeah.
you may as
Plastic is
well.
forever. In fact, the word plastic has the word last in it, so it's already told you.
There you go.
It's
Um,
already told you it's going to last.
what is the Human Impact Institute?
They're an environmental organization that deals with climate change and the arts and residencies, and they have um, a lot of impact in social justice. And I found out about them a few years ago, and I've been wanting to be in a show. So I saw that they were advertising for artists, and they had an open call. So I applied, and I sort of forgot about it. I was sitting in a cafe in Brooklyn a few weeks ago, and I got an email saying I got accepted into the show. And it's really kind of it was the perfect timing because I was going to take the training with uh, Climate Reality Project that Al Gore, Vice President Al Gore,
Yeah,
started.
I definitely want to talk to you about
And I
that.
got
But okay,
accepted into that, and I just finished that training with many other, many other advocate. leaders, 3,000 to be exact.
Wow.
We're at the Javits Center.
But let's just go back to the display down in Dumbo.
Yeah.
When is it? Where is it? You say it's dedicated to the people of the Bronx. Let's invite the
Yes.
people of the
So
Bronx
that's
to
going to
come see
be
it.
at the Creative Climate Awards. That's April 21st.
Okay.
And that's at 38, let's see, 38 Washington Street in Dumbo.
Okay.
Uh, the public can go at 5 o'clock, I believe. And if you go to humanimpacts.org and scroll down to see when the tickets
Humanimpacts.org.
are available,
Okay.
uh, that's the best way to do that.
Do you find when you go to these events, now I realize the Al Gore thing, and don't worry, we're going to talk more in depth about that. Do you find when you go to these kinds of things or participate in these things that you're part of a larger community and it's somewhat comforting to know that there are more people out there who agree with what you agree with and do what you do?
I would say that's true. Yeah, it's nice to be in a like-minded energy. You're one of those folks who is a like-minded energy. Um, and it's quite shocking to me to realize that that's not always the case. Because when I actually wear a lot of my sculptures on my jacket and my shirts, at least one all the time. And the conversations I've had and the inquiries are just mind-boggling. I mean, the
People don't get it.
interaction just from wearing a very small brooch, it's really kind of stunning to see how people are attracted to this, and how unaware people are about how I colored the plastics when I never colored the plastics. It's a very rare moment that I do anything to the plastic except use it as I find it.
Right.
And that's
And
always been mind-boggling to me, that people are so not aware. And then we have conversations.
and you try and educate them. So I guess in that way, there is some success to doing what you do to changing people's minds. Because listen, you can stand in the street with a loudspeaker, but if you can go one to one, maybe you make a little change.
I'm a one-to-one guy. I went to the climate march back in the summer.
Right.
That was staggering. I mean, that was overwhelmingly gigantic, and you get to see who's out there. Young people specifically are very concerned. If I'm very glad to see that's happening,
Because
and it
they've
should be taken
inherited a
seriously
world.
because it is real.
Yeah, they've inherited a world that they didn't create, and they're concerned about it. Let's get into this 3 day training with Vice President Al Gore. I shared with you recently that, listen, this guy predicted exactly what we're getting weather
Yes,
wise
he did.
25 years ago with his Inconvenient Truth movie. And he told us all, if you don't make a change, you're going to get floods, you're going to get hurricanes, you're going to get the kinds of weather that have been stirring. We don't get regular rainfall anymore. We get storms. And
Right.
this was something Al Gore told us
Rain bombs.
25 years ago. So tell me about that training.
Well, I was quite uh, surprised by how incredible it really was. I mean, there were 3,000 like-minded people from all over the world, from all over the country, and the amount of people that Al Gore and the Climate Reality Project put together in New York City for the first time. This was their 55th training,
Wow.
and
And
I mean, it was just staggering
what does he train you to do?
to become a climate leader, to get out there and speak up, and to bring people on and educate people and sort of wake people up to what is exactly happening. And those people who are most impacted are in the Black and Brown communities, which I come from. And it concerns me to know that aspect of it is environmental racism, and that needs to be addressed, and it needs to be addressed very quickly.
Did you get a sense that he is angry because he said, "I told," it's like, "I told you
He
this was going
he
to
is
happen." I mean, he
the
has a right to
man.
do that.
The man is he's unbelievable. He has such command of the subject matter. He is brilliant in how he delivers it. He is concerned. He is alive. He's well informed. He's sharing, and this didn't cost one dime to do. He fed us. He gave us
Oh, there you go.
information. He had some of the greatest speakers I have ever heard.
And where did this
Um,
take place? You need you need Yankee Stadium to do 3,000 people.
well, they pulled it off, and they pulled it off rather
Where
well
was it?
at the Javits Center.
Oh, was it the Javits Center? Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's a big place.
Yes, of course, of course. I was being facetious when I was saying that, and so he did it like in an auditorium. It's just incredible. What did you take away from that that you didn't know? Because if
Well,
we've
that's a
had a
very good
number of
question.
conversations, and we all know what's going on out there.
I'm glad to see that Joe Biden is on with this and is, doing something about it. I'm also happy that New York State is very active. I'm very concerned about the rest of the population and waking up before it's too late. But for myself, I'm concerned about how the art world does not participate in using materials that are not affecting the environment. So I'm trying to start
Very
my own
interesting.
kind of branch off from what they have taught me there and the training, and that's a non. Um, it's a non-extractive art form that I'm trying to put out there. So I'm taking plastics out of the environment. I'm not purchasing art supplies that are made with
That may be
petrochemicals.
harmful. Listen, we're almost out of time. I want to congratulate you again for being selected for the 2024 Creative Climate
Thank you.
Awards. The Human Impacts Institute at Dumbo. Again, how do people find out about that?
It would You go to humanimpactsinstitute.org, their website, scroll down till you see where this is happening on April 21st, and the
Right.
public is invited to go at 5 o'clock.
And our friend Daniel has dedicated his work to the Bronx, and that's
Yes.
a beautiful thing. All right, listen, Daniel Lanzilotta, thank you so much,
Thank you, Gary.
and just keep doing what you're doing. We need you. We need you to
Thank
keep
you.
doing it. We need 40,000 more of you.
One is enough.
So, oh, okay. Anyway, but really,
Thank you so
congrats
much.
for all
Have a
your
great
work,
day.
and thank you so much.
Bye bye.
Okay, we'll take a short break, and then we're going to take a look at something fascinating that happened in the Yankee Stadium area right after this. Don't go away.